So this is Jamie's senior project.
Hi, my name is Jamie Hattori, and I've been a Buddhist my whole life. However, when I was younger, I would do everything I could to get out of services. I would use our Sunday school Dharma class time just to socialize with my friends, and I would generally not pay enough attention to anything. Now that I'm in high school, I committed to be a teacher's assistant for preschoolers, and I'm required to go to service every weekend. When I signed up, little did I know that it would be such a wonderful thing. I developed a huge appreciation for Buddhism and how it can make my mindset exponentially more positive. When my class learned about Buddhism sophomore year, I realized that I wanted everybody to know even more and see how they could integrate a Buddhist train of thought into their lives and how easily they could apply it to themselves. So, I made this video. Huge shout out to the Sacramento Buddhist Church for letting me use their ministers and congregation to really put this video together. Sorry that it looks like a 7th grader using iMovie made this. Thank you!
Has definitely stepped out of her comfort zone because Jamie is not a photographer. She's not an editor. No.
And it's super obvious, hence the 7th grader using iMovie.
She's doing her best, and the final outcome of her project will be really amazing.
Thank you so much to everyone who's in this video and everyone watching it. I hope you enjoy.
Oh wait. Yeah, introduce yourself.
My name is Grace Hatano. I've been with the church forever.
My name is Tim Castle, and I think I've officially been with the church since I got married here in 1987.
I'm Sydney Takeda. I'm a senior in high school. I am a youth minister's assistant here, as well as the kindergarten TA and junior YBA president.
Hi, my name is Allison, and I'm a senior in high school as well. I am vice president of junior YBA, a first grade Dharma TA, and a youth minister assistant.
I'm Stephanie Fong, and I am a senior in high school. I TA for the 6th grade class, and I'm the historian and secretary of junior YBA, and I'm also YMA.
I'm Drew Komodo. I'm a junior YBA. I'm a senior, and I'm a TA for the 2nd grade class.
Hello, my name is Sensei Keith Kato. I'm a minister's assistant with the Sacramento Buddhist Church, and I've been with the Buddhist Church for approximately 58 years.
Hi, my name is Calvin Mark, and I've been with Buddhist Church of Sacramento for 22 years.
I'm Alex Ng. I've been a member of the Sangha for almost my whole life. And I am also a YMA here at the Sacramento Buddhist Church.
Hi, I'm Grace Matayoshi. I've also been going here for basically my whole life. I'm an organist here, and I'm also part of the junior YBA at church.
Hi, I'm Sam Warren.
Hi, my name is Koichi Mizushima. I have been one of the minister's assistants here at the Sacramento Buddhist Church since about, I believe it was, 2003, I want to say.
What is your definition of Buddhism?
Whether it's a way of life or a philosophy or a religion, they all work depending on where you are in your life.
It's a path in which we can live the most meaningful, fulfilled life through having our hearts and minds opened up to the Dharma, or having our hearts and minds touched by the light of the Buddha.
My definition of Buddhism is something that we need, but we don't know we need it because it's involved everyday life. Everything you do relates to Buddhism, because we're seeing different things going around the world, and that's part of Buddhism because of all the changes that's been going around. And even myself, what I felt yesterday is different from today, and I think it's just a good concept to remember and learn and live with, and something that I feel I need, so I'm sticking with it.
You know, what you will hear in Buddhism, 2 words. One is the wisdom and compassion. So, and because you're aware and you acknowledge this wisdom and compassion, this impermanence, this interdependence, it makes you appreciate the life you have, the people who are in your lives, and say the plant lives and the animals that sustain you, help you to sustain your life.
You know, Buddhism has been talked about in many different ways, whether it's a religion, a philosophy, a way of life. I look at it as kind of an exercise in putting forth effort. It's just a constant effort to always try to see the world and see things as it truly is, and not as how you wish it to be, and not only through your own perspective, but through a greater, broader, truer sense of what reality is. And I think that's the goal of all Buddhists, you know, to just see things as they truly are.
If there was one thing about Buddhism that you would want everybody to keep in mind, what would that be?
In life, truly, there are no accidents. We are the result of countless causes and conditions, causes and effects, the cause and consequence. And that when we understand this, we have the chance to live our lives the best and most thoughtfully that we can.
Living in the past, when nothing can be done to change it, is no life to live. Worrying about only the future, yet to be determined, is also no life to live. But being in the present, in this moment, when everything is real, is truly living.
You know, I think my message is consistent with any age, and it's to simply recognize that anything you do in your lifetime is because of the assistance of somebody else. Whether it be parents, grandparents, neighbors, people you know, and so many more that you don't know. Everything you do is due to the help of somebody else, and to be grateful for that.
The first pivotal thing for me was in college. I had one of my best friends was a very devout Christian, and I was the first Buddhist that he'd ever met. And like any good Christian, he wanted to convert me to Christianity, and he wanted to talk religion all the time, and he had all these questions about Buddhism. I couldn't answer any of them because I was just a typical young person. I never thought about Buddhism for myself, and it made me realize that Buddhism was my family's religion. It really wasn't my own. So I began to go to seminars and retreats to really learn about Buddhism for the first time, more seriously for myself.
What is your favorite application of Buddhism that you have used in your life?
My favorite application of Buddhism is to see reality, to see how things truly are, and be able to respond in as thoughtful a manner as I possibly can.
And to live a life well lived, knowing that we only have this one life to live. So really to enjoy every moment that you are alive. I mean, I'm even enjoying interviewing with Jamie.
You gotta keep working at it. It's a constant effort and a constant trial. So patience has been a big one for me, just personally. That's been the biggest challenge for me to work on.
The wonderfully refreshing and opening aspect of Buddhism is that it does apply to all, that the Dharma, the truth of life, applies to everyone. And when we realize we are all dependent on one another, then we have an opportunity, the chance to be happy, be truly happy, and live happily.
Buddhism is a universal religion, so it can be applied to anyone's life, regardless of their background or upbringing.
I think it has something to say for a person of any age, any gender, any background, and even some people who follow different traditions find some meaning in Buddhism. There's a book that I really like. It's called If It Wasn't for Buddhism, I Couldn't Be a Christian. And it's written by a Christian theologian who studied Buddhism, and Buddhism helped him to understand Christian theology in a different manner.
Simply trying to live our life with our eyes open, and trying our best. And that's all we can really do, is to simply try our best. As human beings, we're constantly successful, we're constantly failing, and as long as we try our best, then we've led a good life, I think.
I more fully appreciate my life and the people in my life.
Like, as a teenager, I'm obsessed with like newest technology, newest like clothes and stuff, but just kind of realizing what really matters in life and what Buddhism has taught me has helped me realize that I don't need any of that stuff to have real happiness or have real deep appreciation for others, and it's just helped me become more of a grounded individual.
High school can be very difficult for a lot of kids, and especially nowadays. High school is much more difficult than when I was in high school, and it wasn't even that long ago. Or at least I like to think it wasn't that long ago. People, high school kids probably think it was a long time ago. But I think because it's such a difficult time, it's very hard to know that it gets better. That part of Buddhism is realizing that everything is impermanent, that everything will pass, and to have faith that life does get better.
I think teens can gain a sense of, certainly having a sense of humility, being humble, and again, having that sense of gratitude. It's something that maybe you don't realize as a teenager, but if we plant that seed, regardless of what age, I think if eventually you get to that point of being a humble person and have a sense of gratitude, I think that's the best we can do as teachers.
How to share things and work together and be always forgiving. You can't be a winner all the time, and it's okay to lose sometime because that's a lesson learned. If you're competing against each other, there's always going to be a winner and a loser, but either one of them are winners because you even get to that point to compete. And it's being fair, and I think that's a lot harder for them at that age to know that. And I think they have to go through it pretty roughly before they understand it.
So one of the key principles of Buddhism is impermanence as well as interdependence. I think in high school, especially, you learn that things are always changing. You know, you're not going to be friends with the same people. You're not going to keep in contact with everyone, and then you're going off to college. So I mean, it's the biggest step you're basically going to take in your life. And I think having Buddhism there, it helps me at least understand like everything's going to change. Nothing will be the same, and I just have to accept the fact that things will get better even if they get worse.
For me, Buddhism has had a huge part in my high school life. I think the teaching of mindfulness has really stuck with me. In everything I do and everything I go do, whatever, I always remind myself that I have to really live in the moment and accept everything how it really is, and take in everyone's perspectives. And it just made me a more open person and open-minded person. So, yeah.
So also, I feel like I've really taken Buddhism and tried to incorporate it into my own life through being more mindful about my actions and even like taking responsibility for my life and what I'm doing, knowing that if I want something to happen or if I want to like live my life a certain way, that's on me to make that happen, I guess. So I guess just being more mindful about the people around me, how I affect other people, how I affect myself, that's just really shaped me throughout the past 4 years of high school.
Also to be able to kind of, I guess live just up to the fullest. Don't take anything for granted. You're never going to have the same feeling again.
Okay, Buddhism has positively affected my life, especially as a teenager, because right now I think that everyone is really like insecure and trying to find themselves and focusing a lot on what other people think of them. And it's something that I do a lot, and I know like a lot of my friends do a lot. And Buddhism is kind of a way that makes you think like, oh, like I'm exactly who I should be at this point in my life, and I can grow and be responsible for myself, but like it's not on other people, and I just have to like kind of work on things myself, do everything. And yeah, it's very cool. It's helped me grow as a person.
Yeah, definitely.
Being a teenager is very stressful. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of pressure that's put onto you. So I think Buddhism, at least in my life, it's helped me actually take things slow things down, and to just appreciate every little moment, because I keep hearing adults keep saying like, oh, you're gonna love being a teenager, like you're never gonna have something like this ever again. And I think this year as a junior, I'm taking that to heart, and I'm really appreciating and living in the moment for with my friends or with my family, because like I agree with them now that it won't happen ever again. So Buddhism has helped me realize that.
I think in terms of being, like the age that I am, like in being a teen and being kind of like a young adult in college, I think the way that I've applied Buddhism is, well, in a sense, to a large facet of my life, like in terms of change, in terms of, going off to a new school, like that's all very new and scary, yet we have to be accepting of that truth. We have to be accepting that life is ever changing, and I don't know, I think that's been a way that I've been able to, not necessarily cope, but like more of get through the life that I've lived so far. So.
And I think with high school students, my objective is this. I don't try to teach anyone in the sense of like in a preaching way. I don't try to fix anyone in the sense that we are all, that we need help or we have things that we have to deal with or problems. I don't try to fix anyone. I don't try to advise anyone in that regard specifically. I think more than anything else, dealing with teens as an adult figure, I think it's important to try your best to just listen to them and feel what they're going through, and just try to understand them, because everybody doesn't want to be fixed, but they do want to be heard and they do want to be understood. So basically, I really just hang out. That's really in a nutshell. We just put in our time together. We just hang out.
What does Namo Amida Butsu mean?
Namo Amida Butsu means I bow my head to the truth of enlightenment, to wisdom and compassion, the contents of the Buddha's enlightenment.
Namo Amida Butsu literally means taking refuge in Amida Buddha.
The placing of our hands together, people often attribute this to prayer, but it is not prayer. Because in Buddhism we don't have a creator God that we pray to. There is no supernatural being. Gassho is merely an expression of coming together in oneness, that all things are connected. Nothing exists without the help and benefit and connection of everything else. And I think that is the ultimate expression of humility, knowing that everything we do and everything we've ever done is as a result of so many others' efforts. And so I think that is a beautiful part of our tradition, very meaningful part. Namo means to think upon, and Amida is the central figure on our shrine, and Butsu means Buddha. And Buddha is not a mystical, magical title. Buddha means one who is awake to see the truth as it truly is.
Namo Amida Butsu, to be centered and to live our lives centered on the teachings of the Buddha.
Expressing our gratitude for receiving so much compassion from all the beings around us, even though we really don't deserve it.
Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Namanda, Namanda, You can't share what you don't have, and you can't teach what you don't know.
Thank you. I love Buddhism.
Buddhism! Buddhism!